A female worker at a daycare center in a private home in New York City stabbed 3 infants and 2 adults, injuring 1 child seriously, and then cut her own wrists. The worker stabbed 2 girls and 1 boy, as well as a man believed to be a father of one of the children and a female co-worker. The children ranged in age from 3 days to 1 month. One of the infants was in serious condition at a local hospital. US President Donald Trump has cast doubts on the woman who has accused his Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault after days of restrained comments on the allegations by California professor Christine Blasey Ford. Trump took to Twitter to question her account of what happened between her and Kavanaugh at a party in 1982 when they were in high school. The Senate Judiciary Committee had delayed a vote on Kavanaugh's confirmation after Ford's allegation emerged last week. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has said they were ready for any confidential or public talks with Israelis. The last Palestinian-Israeli peace talks collapsed in 2014 partly because of Israel's opposition to an attempted unity pact between the Fatah and Hamas Palestinian factions and Israeli settlement buildings on Palestinian-occupied land. French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas at the Élysée Palace in Paris. The Palestinian authorities have been impacted by the freezing of subsidies coming from the United States and are looking to find support from other partners. Abbas is expected to speak to journalists in the courtyard at the end of the meeting with his French counterpart. British Prime Minister Theresa May has said that the European Union must come up with an alternative to a Brexit proposal, adding that no deal is better than a bad deal after the bloc's leaders rejected her plans without explaining why. At a summit in Salzburg, Austria on Thursday, EU leaders have said they would push for a Brexit deal next month but rejected May's Chequers plan, saying she needed to give ground on trade and arrangements for the UK border with Ireland. Bolivia's foreign minister has said that he felt confident about his country's case presentation over a dispute between Chile and Bolivia about access to the Pacific Ocean. The International Court of Justice will hold a hearing on October 1st to announce its findings in the Bolivian lawsuit filed in 2013 that seeks to force Chile to negotiate an exit for Bolivia to the sea. Mexico's President-elect Andrés Manuel López Obrador has said that he will press ahead with his plan to cut the value-added tax rate in a strip along the U.S. border to 8% from 16%. López Obrador reiterated his commitment during a rally in Mexicali, Baja California state, part of a tour to thank supporters for his landslide victory in the July 1st election. The strip would be about 30 kilometers wide so as to include major border cities of Mexico. Chancellor Angela Merkel has said that she and the other leaders of the parties in a ruling coalition wanted to find a solution to draw a line under a scandal over Germany's scandal-tainted domestic spy master. 2 government parties are reconsidering a job transfer cobbled together for the spy master, tipping Angela Merkel's 6-month-old Grand Coalition deeper into crisis. Turkey and Russia made the announcement that their troops would enforce a new demilitarized zone in Idlib. German Foreign Minister appreciated Turkey for playing a positive role in Syria's Idlib province. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan is scheduled to visit Germany for 2 days next week to hold meetings with Chancellor Angela Merkel and President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, among others. During a visit to Sarajevo, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has addressed the issue of the US sanctions imposed on a Chinese military agency and its director for buying defense equipment from Russia, including the Russian plane manufacturer Sukhoi. Lavrov has said that these sanctions were yet another act of unfair competition, undermining global trust in the US dollar. Russia is working on ways to lower its dependence on the US dollar system. India and Pakistan have called off a meeting between their foreign ministers in New York a day after announcing the talks. The statement cited the deaths of 3 Indian policemen in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistan's release of 20 postal stamps of the commander militant group Hizbul Mujahideen Burhan Wani, who was killed by Indian security forces in 2016. A top hat, a waistcoat, a bag full of glass balls, that is all Pavel Goriski needs to infuse some magic to what could be a boring commute on public transport for many in St. Petersburg. A 30-year-old contact juggler has picked Russia's metro as a stage and practices his art every night to the delight of his surprise audiences, with classical music playing on a portable speaker. Now, Pavel manipulates glass balls around his hands, arms and across his shoulder blades. While his performances are free, some commuters give him coins in a sign of appreciation. Swiss voters will go to the polls on Sunday to vote in a referendum on foods put forward by farmers and supported by political parties such as the Green Party and the Social Democrats. According to a report, nearly 30,000 farms and 100,000 agricultural jobs have disappeared in the last 20 years due to closures. 3 farm businesses close every day, with farmers facing the ever fiercer competition from industrial agriculture and cheaper imported produce.